Okay guys, today we're going to talk about the latest episode of Supernatural, so let's get right to it. I'm just going to go ahead and say right off the bat, you guys, this episode was fantastic. And I would even go so far as to say that this is my favorite episode of season 8 so far. Definitely last week's episode with Charlie Bradbury, love her, is a close second, but this was fantastic, and I think a real opportunity for them to kind of mix up kind of the mythology that's been going on in season 8, and it's something that I hope that they continue. This episode grabbed me like as soon as the show started, so even at the point when they were doing that whole like previously on Supernatural, some of the like previously scenes that they showed were like old Supernatural episodes, stuff from season 1, stuff from the pilot. They showed a bit from one of my favorite episodes, and that's the Scarecrow episode from season 1. That still scares the heck out of me. But I don't know, like as soon as they started showing all that like old footage, I just thought like, oh, come on, let this be one of those episodes that takes me back to like, you know, old Supernatural. I miss that. And I think they delivered, you know, during this episode. So at the beginning of the episode, you see this guy, Henry, and you get that it's the 1950s. So we're back in time. You know, you see him say goodnight to his son, and then you see him go off to this kind of like secret society meeting. But while he's at the meeting, something bad happens, and a demon shows up and takes over one of the members and starts killing people. And during the killing spree, one of the other members gives Henry this box and tells him, you gotta protect this, you can't let Abaddon get the box. So Henry runs off into another room. We see him like messing with some like, I don't know, like spices and different things, like he's doing a spell, and basically he time travels and he ends up like falling out of the closet in Sam and Dean's motel room. Henry's a little confused because he starts to ask, where's John Winchester? And the boys, of course, are then just like, who are you? And he's not sure who they are. He's just not sure why his spell didn't work, because his spell was supposed to take him to see John Winchester. He doesn't realize that John is dead, basically. So the kind of big reveal is that this guy, Henry, is actually Henry Winchester, and he is John's dad. So technically, he's the boy's granddad. And the spell that he did to take him back in time was a blood spell, so it was supposed to take him to his blood. It was supposed to take him to John. But of course, since John is dead, it took him to the next best thing, which is Sam and Dean. Now, when the boys find out who he is, I mean, it creates quite a lot of tension. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I am always on the I love Dean Winchester train. Let me just say that. But not this episode, because he kind of annoyed me during this episode. And I get it, you know, why he was so kind of like resistant to this guy. Because eventually the boys explained to him, like, look, our dad didn't grow up with a father, you left the family, basically. And eventually Henry puts 2 and 2 together and realizes that he's not going to make it back home from this little, you know, jaunt through time. The coolest part about this episode was kind of some of the mythology that Henry explains. So, like, his secret society is called the Men of Letters. And at first, when he meets the boys and he realizes that they're his grandsons, he assumes that they are men of letters because that's like a family thing. But the boys explain to him, like, we don't even know what that is, and we're hunters, which horrifies Henry because to him a hunter is not a good thing. The whole men of letters things was very intriguing, so that's something that I'm hoping that they explore more. They were obviously protecting supernatural things because it turns out the box, you know, the little box that Henry is trying to keep from Abaddon, it turns out that it's basically like the supernatural mother lode. So this box is the key to every spell, every scroll, like everything supernatural that needs a key, this box will open it. And when Sam finds that out, like somebody tells him, you know, what it is, and then they also tell him how to destroy it. But you get that Sam is a little kind of like, are you sure we should do that? Like, there's all this knowledge and stuff like that, which is just like, come on, people, did we not see Lord of the Rings? Destroy the ring! Destroy the ring, Frodo. Meanwhile, this demon Abaddon, of course, is chasing them, trying to get the box back from them, and in the end, Henry does die, you know, trying to protect the box, trying to help the boys, and it just was so sad, because it's like, at one point, he tells them, forget it, I'm gonna go back, because I'm gonna go be with my son. And he ends up not being able to because the demon, you know, kidnaps Sam, and so he ends up having to help. But it was just really, really sad. A sad, sad thing, as most Winchester family episodes are. Why is it that lots of supernatural episodes this season have been ending in such a sad way? Because let's talk about the ending. It was really sad, right? At the end, you know, you see the boys bury him, and it looks like they've taken him back to the, like, Winchester plot, and they're burying him with the rest of the Winchesters. And they have this really kind of sad discussion there, the two of them, And the last shot that you see is, you see the backs of Sam and Dean as they're standing there over all of these Winchester headstones. And as the camera pulls away, you just see death, basically. And it was just like, oh, please don't let that be foreshadowing, because I cannot handle, first of all, I can't handle that. I love this show, you know, like, I just do, and it's kind of one of those shows that by this time in season 8, and I have watched it from the beginning, that I'm just kind of loyal to, so I'm gonna keep watching it. Even when I feel like it's not as fantastic as it used to be, I'm still gonna keep watching because I'm a Supernatural fan. Season 8 has been a little unfocused, is a good word for it. Now here's hoping that they don't screw it up, and that they continue this line of mythology. I don't know, I guess we'll see what they do. But this episode was awesome, so you should definitely watch it. Okay guys, that's it. See you soon. Bye.